everyone, welcome back to another episode of Dead Rabbit Radio. I'm your host, Jason Carpenter. I'm having a great day. I hope you guys are having a great day, too. It's really nice and sunny out, and I think it'll be a beautiful day. Fingers crossed. You know what's funny is that a lot of times I will either forget to mention stuff in follow-up episodes, or I pre-record episodes and don't know what the consequence is going to be. So I recorded the Michael Taylor episode and the Freddy Krueger episode on the same day, which helps a lot when I'm able to get ahead of the recording process. I can do more research. And the Michael Taylor episode, honestly, I think is probably my most disturbing episode for me. I had a hard time sleeping. I actually had a hard time moving around my house in the dark after editing and posting that episode. That episode really disturbed me. For whatever reason, I've covered stuff that's way more on paper disturbing, but that one really got to me. I even refused to go get my laundry out of the dryer because it's downstairs in the apartment complex and it's kind of haunted here. And so I was like, nah, I'll just pick it up tomorrow morning. Yeah, it really affected me. If you didn't listen to that episode yet, I recommend checking that one out. That was Monday's episode. It's The Blood of Satan. It's The Blood of Satan was the name of that one. So that should give you an idea of how intense it is. But let's go ahead and get started with our first story. Now, our first story is really interesting. Just recently popped up in the news. But the events that put it forward took place a couple years ago. So the year is 2017. And in Paraguay, there was a young man named Ariel Botix. I know it's French. Batoy? Anyways, Ariel, Little Mermaid. She wants her legs, but instead of getting her legs, she becomes a man. She becomes a 31-year-old man, and this is a more depressing version of the Little Mermaid story. Now, Ariel is a computer programmer, and on the side, he dabbles in a bit of black magic, or sorcery, I guess would be a better way to put it, because he wasn't actually trying to hurt people with his magic. He was trying to help them find love. The one thing everybody wants. Everyone wants a little bit of love. But so one day, though, Ariel, very successful computer developer, very successful sorcerer, goes to a Western Union office in Paraguay to pick up a payment. People are just doing their business. It's a normal day, whatever day this was, they don't say. And he walks in there to get his money. And as the person in the Western Union office is handing him the money transfer for $800, federal officers rush the building, take him, throw him in the back of a car. He's under arrest. So this is how this all happened. Ariel was just a dude. And he's really good at web design. He had a couple clients. And like I said, he dabbled in sorcery. And he realized he could put the two talents together. So he started this group called Amores Enmetidos. Which is basically like a love connection or finding love or something like that. I think that's what it ended up being. It was basically a website where you could, through the use of magic, be connected to your soulmate, which is an easy thing to fall for. It's really, really easy for people to fall for this. And you may go, well, I'm a skeptic. I don't believe in magic. I don't believe magic can find me a soulmate. And you're in an abusive relationship. Love is the easiest thing to get tripped up on. Whether or not magic is involved or just human manipulation or trickery or whatever, it's such an easy gimmick to control people. But anyways, whether or not he started it off as a gimmick or he actually thought he had these magical powers to bring people together across the universe, we don't know. But he does start this service and it does become fairly successful. But it was all online. So he had clients all over the world, a bunch in South America, he had a bunch in the United States, he had some in Europe as well. And the way that it would work online, because again, it's kind of hard to do magic rituals, over the phone. People do it because it's pretty much a scam all the time, but sometimes the person could at least maybe start with good intentions. His thing was this. I'm going to tell you what to do. You have to send me a video of, now I think you can see where this is going. You have to send me a video of you doing it, and then I know that the ritual is complete, and that way I can then use your power processed over the internet and find your loved one. So the ritual generally was you had a couple candles and a lighter and some alcohol. You'd have to drink the alcohol and light the candles and recite these sayings and stuff like that. And generally the phrases were vulgar things. They were basically, it was like dirty talk. So you're recording yourself talking dirty to a stranger and drinking alcohol. And then you send this video to this guy, and he's like, okay, I'll see if I can help you find a loved one. But it starts to escalate very rapidly. Where, he's a young man. There's a couple other guys working at this company. I'm sure that at a certain point, they're like, let's see how far we can push this. So at a certain point, the people had to also start performing sex acts on camera as part of this ritual, which was most likely masturbation. Masturbating on camera, saying these dirty phrases, and sending it to a guy in Paraguay hoping to find true love. But even that wasn't the trigger that got him arrested. Because that's just two consenting adults being weirdos. What happened was he found out just through passing that one of the clients that he had a video on was extremely wealthy. Very, very high up in society and extremely wealthy. They never revealed who this woman was. But he then contacts her and says, I'm going to release this video online unless you give me $250,000. It never says whether or not he actually got any money from her. But I'm thinking that he did, because then he began doing that over and over and over and over again, to the point where they were no longer just advertising, originally he was like advertising on like the Spanish version of Craigslist. They started doing targeting advertising. They would find single people who were rich and bombarding them with ads for the services to get them, knowing full well that the second they had the video, they were going to turn around and blackmail them. They weren't interested in the mass amount of people who were just sending a couple bucks to do this video. They were using their organization to target wealthy, lonely people to get them to masturbate on camera and then blackmail them. They would say, if you don't pay me this money, we are going to upload this video to the internet. And sometimes they would upload part of the video and say, we will upload the rest of it if you don't pay us our money. So pretty strong-handed blackmailing tactics. Now, somebody complained because an ICE agent in the United States posed as a buyer and said, hey, I saw half this video online. I'd like to buy the rest of it for $800. And Ariel goes, that's awesome. Yeah, totally. Wire me the $800 to this Western Union, and I'll send you the whole video. Total scam, total scumbag. He ran this thing. And it only ran from like February to October of 2017. He gets arrested, and he's awaiting trial. He's spending some time in Paraguay. He's actually from Argentina, but he's spending some time in a Paraguayan jail. He's spending some time in jails in Paraguay. Then he gets transferred to the United States, extradited to the United States. He's spending some time in jail up there. He's finally gets sentenced to 2 years for one blackmail charge. He'd already been in jail that long. He gets out in July. And that's it. I guess he's being deported back to Argentina, because that's where he's originally from. But yeah, that's the story of Ariel. It's interesting because you know he's going to go right back to doing it. Like, the story is so obscure and it was so successful the first time, he's going to go right back to doing it. He's just going to be smarter about it this time. And before we move on to the next story, just want to remind you guys, the merch store is up. A lot of great merchandise, t-shirts, stickers. I think there's a couple posters as well. If you want to support the show, that's a great way to do it. That was a clip from our daily podcast, Dead Rabbit Radio. Dead Rabbit Radio is available anywhere that you listen to podcasts. It's daily paranormal, conspiracy, and true crime news. If you want to hear the full episode that this clip came from, check the link below. Please like and subscribe. And hit that little bell, too. That does some magical stuff. Thanks, guys.